My name is Nnamdi Onyenuchie. I'm the CEO of Phone Planet. I'm the CEO now, Zero Mall. It all started in 2004 in Lagos. It started with a little store where we deal on footwears. From there, we moved down to Bayelsa in the year 2005, where we set up the phone shop known as Sonel back in the days. It all started in a little shop at Tamarata here in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State Capital. Well, my inspiration is driven by my desire to meet needs, customers' needs. Before coming to Bayelsa State, like I said earlier, we had a shop at Port Harcourt. Maybe I didn't mention it in my first answer. We had a shop in Port Harcourt where we deal on mobile phones and gadgets. There we used to see people coming from Yenagoa, Bayelsa State Capital to patronize us. And I said to myself, what stopped me from moving down to Bayelsa and meet these people's needs and make their journey less stressful and their desire to get their gadgets less stressful? So we came down to Bayelsa and established one of the first phone stores in Bayelsa. And ever since then, it's been from one success story to the other. Our goal and our most inspiration is seeing people smile back home with their products from our stores. It's been a journey of, it started in 2003. 2003, I got settled. Like we all know, the Igbo apprenticeship scheme. I'm a proud student of that, and from 2003 to date, it's been how many years? 22 years. This is a 22 years journey. It has not been smooth all through, but it's been a very good ride. Well, like you know, we deal on gadgets, smartphones, and electronics. What is our biggest challenge? I would say is, we live in a world of innovation, a world of a tech world. Each year, and sometimes in some years, they bring out so many new models of smartphones. It is our prerogative as a leading smartphone dealers to make sure we meet our customers' needs. So we make sure we don't relent in doing that. We go out of our way to meet our customers and to our customers' need, by sourcing for such gadgets and premium gadgets like that, and also making sure that their qualities are top notch. These are one of the challenges and the drive, what drives us, in what we do. The first one is power. Like when we set up this mall here, we had the issue of electricity. For a long period of time, we didn't have power in Bayelsa. So we were running here on diesel and we were generating our own electricity before we now had to improvise by sourcing for other means of electrifying the mall, because there's no way you can run an establishment like this without power. So we went out of our way to provide solar system that is powering this mall as you're seeing it now, so that we can have 24/7 power supply. So I can say power is number one. Then secondly is insecurity. Like I told you, we deal on gadgets, and it's something that requires a lot of security, because without it, you can wake up one morning and everything you've labored for is scattered away. So we go out of our way to make sure we provide maximum security for our our malls and our outlets. The third one is multiple taxation. Multiple taxation is one of the things we are battling with currently in Nigeria, because right here in Bayelsa there are so many taxes that you pay. Some are called income tax, some are revenues from all other some government agencies, and also you're also being chased down by the FIRS. And also, like some of these goods that we buy, we also pay VAT from the point of purchase. So trickling it down to our customers, we find out that by the time the goods get to the end users, it becomes too expensive, thereby limiting the profit margin of the retailers. So that's one of the challenges we are facing. My greatest inspiration in this industry is engineer Nnamdi Onyenuchie, MD CEO Slot. Slot System is a model of business that I've always admired from afar, and coming into the same line of business, I've always looked up to him and trying to see what made Slot what they are today, and how we as a Phone Planet can emulate him and inspire to that height. He's a young man that I've watched for years, and I'm really happy seeing him achieve all he has achieved in the industry. The first person I partnered with in this business is called Mr. Sunday Elochukwu. He's his MD CEO, Sonel Communication in Port Harcourt. Those who grew up in Port Harcourt will still remember him. He's one of the foremost phone dealers in Port Harcourt. I started with him. I learned the business from him, and we set up the Sonel outlet here in Bayelsa, which actually belonged to me, but we used his name, his franchise, to set up that business. So he's my mentor and someone I truly appreciate the role he played in my life while growing up. It's a tricky question, but I would say Tony Elumelu. Tony Elumelu is a CEO that inspires the young one, and that's the kind of heart I have. I love inspiring the young ones coming after me. So I would say Tony Elumelu. Your background is important, but it doesn't matter. It's important in the sense that it inspires you, it makes you, it's like a driving force that pushes you on to do better, to make sure you're a change maker. Sometimes while I was growing up, I grew up in a family of, should I say I can't call my family a middle class family. We weren't that financially placed, but I was inspired. I was determined to make a difference in my generation. So you as a youth coming up, you have to have a desire to make a change in the world where you find yourself. Where you were born into might not be your making, but where you get to is totally dependent on you. You must be determined to make a change in your time by doing things that ordinarily you were not empowered to do. Like I said, that God has placed in us, every man, a talent. There is this healing talent that you have in you that you must find out and see what drives you, and make sure you chase it down and make a change in your time. Hold on to your, don't allow your background discourage you. We've had several setbacks in this business. It's not once, not twice. We've had setback right from Lagos when I was dealing on footwear. At some point, the government policy then had to ground the business. So I didn't lose hope. I had to pick myself up from there by reaching out to the contacts that I already have. Contacts, what do I mean by contact? Friends that you've made in the time past. I didn't feel too big to to fall back to my friends, to learn, still learn from them, and pick up myself. So we've had challenges also in this gadget business by burglars have once burgled our shop and carted away lots and lots of goods. We did not relent. We kept moving because of what? We made a name for ourselves. We have trusted customers who always fall back to us. Provided your customer base is intact, there is no challenge you cannot surmount as a CEO. So the most important thing is to make a name for yourself by being truthful, being honest. Make sure you do your business with all honesty. By so doing, no challenge will be bigger than you to bounce back from. Like I mentioned earlier, we've been 23 years in this industry and we are still relevant. Reasons being that we move with the trend. Make sure you don't rest on your oars. Make sure you rebrand, you keep rebranding. Don't ever think you've arrived as a CEO, because there are new things, there are tech savvy guys coming up, and once you don't meet up, once you stop measuring up, you will be relegated to the background of things. So make sure you keep reading, about the business you're into, you keep learning. Don't stop learning. Don't ever stop learning. Don't think you've known it all. As I am now, I have about 6 boys that have passed through me, but I keep learning from them. There are new things you can learn every day. Make each day a learning day for you, and you still stay relevant for a long period of time. Quality name, good name is very scarce. It's a scarce commodity. But once you've make it for yourself, make sure you make a name for yourself. A name that, once that name is mentioned, people will say, of a truth, I can vouch for his integrity. I can vouch for this company's integrity. Make sure you make such a name for your company. It's very, very important. The money might not flow in if you're someone who deals with integrity. Yes, you might not make it overnight, but certainly you will have a lasting success, which is the goal of every CEO. Thank you all for having me. My name is Nnamdi Onyenuchie, MD CEO Now Zeal. Keep watching Universal TV Africa.